Portugal. There's a YouTube show full of fun facts you need to know.
Hola, bon dia, alegria. Munson here with Good Morning Portugal show, the live stream of our podcast. And, of course, the Portugal Club. We're going to look at proof of accommodation. It's a bit of a work in progress, actually. I don't entirely agree with the web research, which, of course, is increasingly AI-driven, is it not? Google's changed, isn't it? Do you remember the happy times when you could just ask for something you wanted and you got what was there rather than what was manipulated to be put before you, and now turbocharged with AI? I hope everything's streaming well at your end. If it's not, if you're a bit grumpy this morning, let it be known there is a World Happiness Summit, and you might like to go to that if you're a bit grumpy or a bit down in the dumps. Do excuse me, May 16th to 17th. Let's have a look at this this morning. Kindness for a happier life is the strapline of the WHS, the World Happiness Summit, coming up in May. Yeah, 16th to 17th, Portugal, 2026 in Cascais. So let's have a little bit of a look at that, shall we, this morning. Oh, excellent. Let's see what they have to offer. Doctors, well, there are doctors, but speakers include, Karen Guggenheim and Professor Lord Richard Layard. No, I haven't heard of any of them either. Nick Marks. Some of these names ring a bell. Anna Borg. Is she AI, I wonder, or a real person? Fred Luskin. Let's see what they've got to offer anyway a little bit later on in the show. Also later on, we've got Barak joining us, and distinctly less beefy than he's ever been, I think, talking about getting away from Portugal with TMZ Travel. Apparently, I've been hired as his marketing. Let me just see exactly what the job is. My new role is media and marketing manager for BMZ. I said TMZ, didn't I? BMZ Travel. TMZ is something different, isn't it? Isn't that a rather click-seeking news source as well, website? Anyway, the image. If you're interested in what the image is behind me, popped over to Salgado Beach. That's Salgado, taken yesterday. Lovely day. Well, not a day at the beach, but maybe half an hour or so. Just popped over there, took the dogs and the kids, and had a run around on the beach yesterday. So weather conducive to that sort of thing. How are you? What have you been up to? Have you been taking advantage of the better weather conditions here in Portugal? And we're still, of course, each time I say that and refer to those lucky enough to be able to enjoy the sunshine without having to rebuild their homes or take a tree off their telephone line or get connected back to the utilities or the phone company. I saw the wonderful mayor, effectively, she's the mayor, isn't she? And Abrunho, I think, in Coimbra, sticking it to the man yesterday. He seemed to be saying, yes, the calamity's over now. And she put him right on that. That was some great coverage. If you're keeping up with that sort of thing on social media, you will see the lady leader of Coimbra, standing up for the people of Coimbra in the most magnificent way, which we might talk about actually on Friday. Natasha Don over at the Portugal Resident brought that to my attention on social media. So she may well be one of the news picks we talk about on Friday. Yeah, Barak joining us then, not so beefy, helping people plan trips out of Portugal. We have this wonderful base here in Portugal, and it's nice to get away sometimes, isn't it? I'm planning a trip to Italy at the moment. Actually, I'm going to ask him what he recommends. I'm going to be popping to Bologna soon, and we'll see what he recommends over there. A nice bit of memery and moments of mirth this morning as well. And the reason why you might not be learning Portuguese as well as you might have hoped as well. Got a few things hanging about on my picture deck this morning. Oh, and I definitely need to get those pictures up from Bill and Marcus. The lovely Caretos style pictures. It wasn't Pedence, as it turned out. It was somewhere else, up near Lamego, I believe, but we'll stick them up over at the Portugal Club as well. How are you this morning? It's looking very quiet in the chat. Let's see who's in. And I think, yeah, T-Duck sent in a note already. He's not going to be joining us this morning, but Matty's here. Bom dia, alegria a todos e feliz quarta-feira. Good morning to you, Matty. How are you doing? Bon dia. Today is the Samsung S26 Ultra Unpacked event. That's Samsung trying to make the tech scene as exciting as Apple do. Is technology slowing down? Have a few cosmetic things been changed in the name of an upgrade, or is there a lot under the hood? Does nobody know? S25 event. They ain't all that. Mine needs ain't all that. My morning, Jackie. Mine needs charging twice a bloody day. Battery life is crap, lol. Oh dear. Other phones are available, and we looked at that Mudita phone, didn't we? That has a 6-day battery with a very different, not one of those bright LED screens, but one of those paper type screens, paper simulator. I'm going to be in touch with Mudita and send them our clip. It'd be great to get somebody on from their company to explain the thinking behind their products. But there's an unhappy Samsung customer. What have I got? I think I've got a 15, 16 or something like that. On the 28th of February, also an event from Xiaomi in Barcelona, also revealing a new phone, I think. Xiaomi stuff seems all right, doesn't it? But I guess that's just, isn't that just a direct connection to the Chinese Secret Service in your pocket? They all are, aren't they? To be fair. Bondi Tordish from Stockholm. Hey, Anna, how are you? Winter is still holding its grip here. What are you doing there? Get back over here. The weather's better. But I hope it's finally turning around for the weekend. I hope me too. If you've got a picture of freezing Stockholm, it will certainly help people feel, those who are aggrieved by the weather and the whiteout in the sky. It might cheer them up a bit. But that's Salgado behind me. That was very nice yesterday, I have to say. But on to everyone from Mike. Thank you for your recent support, Mike. Much appreciated. And thanks to anyone who's contributing to the show. Let me see if I can just do a quick shout out to those of you who support the show, to whom I am very grateful. Yeah, Bob. Thank you very much, Bob, for your recent contribution. John, Joao de Nort, thank you so much for your long-standing and considerable support as well. Christine Turner. Christine has been giving me a little contribution since the COVID days and hasn't stopped. Thank you very much, Christine. Much appreciated. Thank you for your kindness as well. It all helps. Thank you very much indeed. Yes, and Amy and Greg, we thanked them the other day, didn't we? Everybody who contributes to the show in whatever form, thank you very much. And of course, in a world where we still have money making the world go round, thanks to all of you who contribute financially, especially as well. Good morning, everyone from Gemini. Gemini, how are you? It's definitely quiet in the chat, isn't it? I think, yeah, I was a bit of a struggle getting out of bed. And I think we're all subject to the same sort of forces, are we not? A little bit sleepy and quiet this morning, but we're here until 9 o'clock. Happy hanging out and welcoming spring slowly but surely into our lives here in Portugal whilst we recover from the storm damage and look forward to a fantastic summer. Definitely due one of those, are we not? I'm meeting with friends Astrid and Sarah. Will be at the international lunch at the Storytellers this lunchtime. Looking forward to that. And popping over to Benedita, to have a look with another friend at a possible car purchase over there. So looking forward to a busy day and a Portugal resident podcast to record. Oh, and a Positive Echo podcast as well to record this morning. Yes, that'll go out live at 10:30. A lady, Jane, we're talking to Jane about retirement. She has got a great idea. She's going to be speaking to us from France. She has this lovely idea of spending a month of each year out of the UK, traveling the world. What a lovely idea that is. I'll be talking to Jane about her ideas on retirement for the Positive Echo podcast if you want to join us live at 10:30. Had the flu, was on the antibiotics. It's just knocked me out much better now. Good to hear from you and glad to hear you're feeling better, Gemini. Sending best wishes to Jerry as well of Expats Portugal, who's had a similar nasty bout of something or other. One of the worst he's had, he was saying. So hoping he's okay and recovering for tomorrow night's webinar session. And Bobby as well. Bobby, hope you're back on your feet and doing okay after those acid injections into your knees. Do you remember that? He was telling us about that last week, wasn't he? Oh, Mike, fantastic. See you at the Storytellers. Looking forward to seeing you then this lunchtime as well. Danada, Gemini. Absolutely. That's what we're all about here. Checking in on each other, taking care of each other and living our best possible lives, notwithstanding flu and dodgy knees. World Happiness Summit to come. And a few funny memes as well. This I thought was very interesting, actually. The reason you're not fluent. Now, this, I think, is Jump Streak, isn't it? Are they called Jump Speak? Jump Speak. who have published this, and they're not referring to Portuguese specifically, but I think there's a lot of truth in this. And the reason you're not fluent, it's one of these four. Are you, I thought that said steak addict at first. I can't imagine why being on a keto carnivorous diet would stop you being fluent, unless your mouth's always full of meat. You've got a 500-day streak for 500-day steak. That's well aged. You've never had a real conversation. Oops. You're addicted to the dopamine of the daily XP. Oh, that's your points, isn't it? Your total over on those types of apps. But when someone actually speaks to you, panic. You're learning to tap, not talk. Ooh, that's a bit harsh, but I think true and fair as well for anyone who uses an app. And by no means am I trying to knock anyone's efforts to learn the language, but presumably the end point is to speak the language with actual people and not just AI or with yourself and a screen. So well done if you are a streak addict and you're building vocabulary, but I think you'll see some truth in that. The forever beginner. Yes, I can relate to this one. You've restarted the learning, let's say Portuguese 6 times, that program. Yeah, I've definitely done that with our own program at the Portugal Club, the 30-day program. I've started that 4 or 5 times now. You know the basics. Again, every app feels like progress until you realize you've done the same lesson 3 years in a row. You're not learning, you're looping. Ooh, this is well written, isn't it? It's well put together. That's the forever beginner. The passive learner listens to podcasts. You watch shows with subtitles. You might even watch the Good Morning Portugal show and learn a little bit here and there and then forget it immediately. You immerse yourself, but you've never actually opened your mouth. You understand everything. You can say nothing. Understand everything, can say nothing. Ooh, that must be tricky situation to be in. You can conjugate every verb. This is the grammar perfectionist. All of you know who you are. You'll be one or more of these, won't you? You can conjugate every verb. You know the subjunctive, but you won't speak until it's perfect. So you never speak. You're fluent on paper, silent in person. I think this is so accurate. There's only one fix, says Jump Speak. Actually speaking gets you talking from day one. Have to have a look into that. So Jump Speak, anyone using that? Definitely where I've made the most progress with Portuguese is just by opening my mouth and making a fool of myself. But some might say that comes easy to me. And that's definitely the progress that I've found and must do more of. And I could probably do with augmenting and complementing that. There's another one, isn't there? I mean, I do open my mouth and actually speak, but not enough, I think. And there's probably the show off or the blithering idiot that I would fit more into that, who just tries and is known in the town as the guy who makes a terrible mess of our language. But at least he has a go, which is well thought of here in Portugal, to be fair, which is fantastic. Right. Okay. Which one of those are you? If you want to confess, and let me know as well if you've tried Jump Speak. Let's stay over, shall we, at the picture deck before we take a look at the World Happiness Summit, and when we look forward to welcoming Barak at 8:30 as well. He organised a trip for some folks to get to Madrid, and he wants to do a poll this morning on the best place to go. So I think we'll spark that up over at the Portugal Club as well, and we'll have a quick look at proof of accommodation, because it is a work in progress, and I think there's an error on there, and I'm not going to publish it until we feel that that's right. We published buying euros yesterday. That's up as a little video, and actually number 7 of the Portugal Essentials. Let's see what else I've been squirreling away here. Did you see this previously? You can always tell them when Americans, did you stay up for the State of the Union speech? What was in it? Anything useful? I was going to. I am transfixed. It's popcorn moment for me to see President Trump addressing the parliament, you don't call it that, do you? But your Congress and the country, his supporters, his enemies. It's not an over-exaggeration, is it, to say addressing his enemies? It's very controversial, adversarial, polar in American politics at the moment. And it's very watchable. I mean, it's painful as well. But I was tempted to stay up all night and find out what was going on. And surprised to see, actually, that the social media is actually quite quiet. I think it was probably one of his very long-winded marathons of him riffing and blathering on for ages. It was a record length, I think, was it? I do the longest, if not the best, then the most long-winded at everything. And I wonder what the takeaways are. What are the tangibles of the State of the Union address last night? If you can let me know that as well. You can always tell when Americans have never been to Europe because they don't know about two. If you want to prove this, take a look at the back of a €2 coin, or some of them, I suspect. And there is the largely unknown two just off the coast of Portugal. There, I think that's brilliant. Siempre se puede saber cuando los estadounidenses. That's what the Spanish call. So it's not estadounidenses, it's estadounidenses. If you're Spanish, nunca han estado en Europa porque no saben nada sobre dos. There you go. Okay, I think that's funny. Did we look at this one before? Word of the day, bilingual. Forgetting words. I think we did do this one, but it connects nicely, doesn't it, with jump speak? And I've definitely get this. I have been in a situation where I can't remember in my own language. I'm reaching for the word in the new language in Portuguese, and I can't even remember the word in my own language. And then maybe a bit of French pops up for some weird reason, or even German. My goodness, that's also very good, I think. Oh, people dressed up as sheep. Let's move on. That hustle one, yeah, we did that, didn't we? Just check and see what's here on the picture deck, actually, and what we may have missed. I just hope the next viral trend is empathy and critical thinking skills. No, we didn't think that was going to happen. Did we? No, of course not. What's this one? My mate. Oh, this is good, isn't it? A little bit of banter with the BMW drivers this morning. My mate suddenly quit his job at BMW. He gave absolutely no indication he was leaving. Hey, which goes very nicely, does it not? With no, actually, that's not the one I'm looking for. The one I'm looking for was the one about orthopedic shoes. I used to think orthopedic shoes were a waste of time, but I stand corrected. Awesome, huh? Oh, that's Dave Lee, isn't it, over at the record company? Ah, you see, Tony, it's true, but we need to do the math here, don't we? A European, what's this? Weather and climate, climate data, Wikipedia, or is that Wiki? Yeah, Wikipedia. It doesn't say when. This this could be a long time ago, and we found out from Gumpy yesterday, didn't we, that her large language model was input and it's closed off by October 2023. Goodness only knows where this comes from. Annual hours of sunshine in European capitals. Here in Lisbon, then, 2,806 hours of sunshine. Does that sound right? More than Spain, more than most places, actually. Is it more than no? Southern Italy gets more than us, but we pretty much allegedly do better than most other places. Can someone do the math on that, please? 2,806 annual hours of sunshine in the capital. How many days of sunshine would that be? 2,806. Let's call it 2,800 just to round it off and do the maths with. Very good. We haven't looked at that before. Still getting over that. A cat jumping on me in the bath and giving me the full towel holder treatment. Now, this I thought was interesting as well. Definitely haven't shared this with you yet. In Portugal, it's illegal for employers to contact workers outside official hours. Companies must respect employees' privacy, including rest and family time, and any violation is treated as a serious offence that can lead to fines. While I sip on my tea, would you care to look at the living room in which that Portuguese gentleman is sitting? I don't know where they sourced him and his Diário de Lisboa book that he's reading. And he's a nice leather chair, actually. And you'll notice, actually, yes, the Portuguese furniture is for you bigger chaps who are living here now. Portuguese furniture can be a little bit on the diminutive side, can't it? And it does look like that's quite a small chair. And he might not be a massive bloke, but he's in a nice leather chair, which he looks like he's been enjoying for years, with an old-fashioned phone. We don't live, just in case you're watching and thinking of moving to Portugal, it's nice. It's kind of old-fashioned in many ways, but it's not that old-fashioned. We don't have phones like that anymore, or a macrame lampshade. I don't. That's new. That's new news. That legislation came out in the last 2 or 3 years, and it's also a little bit misleading, isn't it? Because people who work here in Portugal do work long hours, and they work kind of in a different way. It's not like clocking on and clocking off. It's all quite informal, the way things work. Nice lunch break, 1.5 hours. And I suspect this only works in the most of sort of modern and harshest of corporate environments where you're not allowed to ring your employees. But most people wouldn't dream of doing that anyway. It's like it doesn't have to be a law here because people aren't a-holes about it. But excuse me, to the corporate, the meme I was showing, the hustle meme, I guess that connects with this one, doesn't it? In a way that you can't really compare American work culture and Portuguese work culture. They're very different. And Portuguese people are no less hardworking, but they work hard in a different way, I think, in a very different way to the lines that are drawn in corporate America, where I think it's probably okay to call anyone at any time if you pay them money. And but it's not okay here. But I think in many ways it never has been. There's a great respect for family life, and you wouldn't be sending emails or you wouldn't expect to have your email responded to. I email colleagues and associates, but I don't expect them to reply to me until, well, probably sometimes ever. But that's another story. But I, when they're back at work, whenever that is, that's when it can be looked at. I just thought that was interesting, but I thought it was especially hilarious. The picture there. Very good. Okay, these will be up at the Portugal Club. Thank you, you two, Bill and Marcus. Thank you very much for these. They will end up at the Portugal Club soon. And yes, look at this. Are you this old? I'm so old, and you feel free to contribute more of these this morning. I'm so old that I'm still kind of scared to put spaces in file names. And I can honestly say I did this the other day. You can call files whatever you want, I think now. Maybe apart from a slash, is that right? On a file name, because that's confusing to your computer. But most operating systems are now allow you to put spaces in file names, which you could never do, and probably suffered once upon a time, hours trying to save something until somebody came along and said, "Oh no, you can't put spaces in." That's the problem there. Before operating systems told you why you were making mistakes as well. There you go. Are you old enough that you might still be scared to put spaces in file names? Or are you this day's old or this year's old today, realizing that that's a thing even, and you didn't even know that until this morning? Yes, you can put spaces in file names. Back to more of your comments, and we'll have a look at the World Happiness Summit and the proof of accommodation. You may want to help out with that in just a moment as well, whilst we wait for Barak to join us. That picture seems to be pre-1974, when the PED could contact you when they liked, yes, at the front door. Nothing to laugh about, quite frankly. Morning, Adrian. How you doing? In terms of learning languages, it helps me to be outgoing and unafraid to make mistakes. It really helps. It helps me with my English, actually, and willing to talk. Not afraid of going first. Brash North American, including Canadian influences, helping. What are you saying, Adrian? Don't use an app to speak. Go outside, actually speak to locals, make mistakes, and get corrected. The world won't burn. Well said, Matty. Bom dia a todos e feliz quarta to all this morning from the coach. A lovely day yesterday. I think it's the first time this year. Wow! Nearly March, and it's the first decent day they've had in the UK. Another today, then the rain comes back. Still, I'll enjoy while I can. What else can you do, mate? Okay, the math has been crunched. 2,806 hours of sunshine, half a day, is 233.83. We can skew those figures, can't we? We can make it even more. We can really annoy the Portuguese and make it more than 300 days of sunshine by changing the ratio there. 8th of sunlight per day, 300. That's more like it. If you just have 7.684 hours of sunshine each day, we've got sunshine every day. Lies, damn lies, and statistics. Very good. File names depends on the operating system you're using. On Unix, I believe spaces are still not okay. Spaces in file names, that's boomers and Gen Xers. PTSD. Good morning to you. How are you? I do so enjoy our exchanges on WhatsApp and wish more of that content could be available in this live environment. Anyway, if you've got a meme to send me that you'd like me to share on screen today, I have to go out this morning after class. Okay, all right. I think we're going to have to delay the Portugal resident podcast. Okay, yes, we will. I think we'll do that. gosh, he goes to bed early. Well, there's nothing wrong with that. I would like to go to bed earlier than I do. Oh, excellent as well. A picture just in from Sweden. Yeah, Rui, if you've got anything, a funny meme that you're happy for me to share on screen, send it in now. Have you got something timely and hot off the press from the State of the Union address? I wonder. Yes, I will pop that up on the screen. Speaking from experience from my old days dealing with networking, paving the way for dissemination of US tech. Wow, an early adopter, an influential person in the tech space. Back in the days when it wasn't called the tech space, it was just called computers. Was it not? When did that happen? When did being involved in computers, computer science become the tech space, bro? I wonder. Okay, Rui, how about coming back to Portugal for some of this? The World Happiness Summit. It says something, does it not, about us human beings that we might even have a World Happiness Summit. We might just be happy and not have to have a World Happiness Summit. But there is one, and it's happening in Portugal this year. And I'm going to tell you more about it now. The 2026 edition. I don't know who WOHASU are. Oh, the World Organization for the Summit of Happiness or something along those lines, I suspect. Nice graphics, as you would hope. A nice graphical representation of Cascais there, and some Portuguese tile, some azulejo, done in the modern style that the computing technology allows one to do these days. It's the Nova School of Business and Economics, so there may well be a businessy commercial slant on this, monetizing and commercializing happiness, arguably. Yeah, you've got to be pretty happy financially to get into this. Tickets between $699 and $1,600 on Saturday, May the 16th, goes on to Sunday, May the 17th. A unique experience, it better be with those prices, designed to educate, motivate, and inspire using science to create positive change at work. I've got an idea to create positive change at work. Be there less in education and in communities. I guess for the bosses wanting their pound of flesh, they're trying to hedge this, aren't they? Like, how can we get the most out of people and still have them happy? Because we've discovered that makes a difference. Join us for, am I being a bit cynical here? Join us for our most meaningful summit yet. Look, AI is going to help us all to retire soon. Can't AI also just make it possible for everyone to have enough, not enough money, but enough to get by in life, food, shelter, and everything? Come on, AI. This is your biggest challenge yet, if you're listening. A lot of work that people do is utterly stupid, is it not? And unhappy, basically. People doing stupid things to earn a living. And you would have thought by now, 21st century, we could be beyond that. And we'd have tinkered around with this formula of life such that we get our basic needs met. I mean, this has been a vision for many utopians, has it not? And I know human nature comes in and spoils things, as it seems to have done quite obviously at the moment, and we're discovering. But on the bright side, it shouldn't be that difficult, should it? And this seems so old-fashioned to me, doesn't it? The idea of Victorian industrialized ways of working, yet progressive ways of looking at human happiness. It's kind of obvious, isn't it? But no, presumably not. We have to research these things, and we have to have people in white coats talking about it. Let's come together for this landmark celebration. I don't mean to pee on your chips, Wahasu. And the 8th edition of the World Happiness Summit, the most recognized global gathering dedicated to evidence-based well-being. I honestly don't need evidence to know when I'm happy. I just kind of know. And the evidence, I don't, looking for evidence makes me unhappy, quite frankly. Or if someone says to me, I don't believe you're happy, I want to see the evidence. You can take a holiday, and I can recommend BMZ Travel for that. And we'll talk to Barak in just a moment. Just finish off then with the World Happiness Summit. As you can guess, I probably won't be going to this. I've been uninvited if I was ever invited in the first place. In 2026, we will gather in the beautiful seaside city of Cascais on the coast of Lisbon to explore just outside of, actually. Although, is it the Greater Lisbon area? It's its own village. It's got its own status. It's not really a suburb of Lisbon, is it? Or the coast of. Powerful and timely theme: kindness for a happier life. Well, here's to that. Kindness for a happier life is not soft. It is a superpower for leadership, connection, innovation, and human flourishing. Let me just think of all the kind bosses I've ever had. That didn't take long. Actually, I've worked for some great people, but that's because I've had a really weird work life. I've sought them out. Across 2 days, the summit brings together. It wasn't the phrase "there's absolute power corrupts," and no, power corrupts. You know the thing I'm trying. You know the thing, man. Power corrupting, absolutely. That was discovered in the workplace. Across 2 days, the summit brings together leading thinkers, educators, researchers, senior executives, policymakers, watch out, entrepreneurs and creators from 80 plus countries to explore how kindness and happiness strengthens resilience, builds thriving cultures, and fuels a better future. Most of them paid for by their employers who are expecting their pound of flesh when they get back. I wonder how many entrepreneurs are funding themselves for this, or if it's a bit of an academic jolly. I'm sorry I'm being so negative about this. I really am, but they're getting it in the neck. I think probably that's a fantastic building there, isn't it? The Geronimo Martins buildings. I do wish them luck. I honestly do. And they'll have a great time in Cascais. But I don't think happiness is that difficult or technical, really, is it? But there will be gourmet food and signature drinks. That'll help. Exclusive rooftop access. Who doesn't like exclusive rooftop access? Breathtaking ocean views and high value networking, not unlike you get here on the Good Morning Portugal show. It does say TMZ instead of BMZ, but that will get us a few extra hits, I think, because people think there's a TMZ connection this morning on the Good Morning Portugal show. Let's see if he's organizing any trips for people to Cascais and the World Happiness Summit. It's Barak, everybody. Is he beefy or not?
Bom dia. Tudo bem.
Did you hear me going on about the World Happiness Summit there?
I did. And I mean, let's think about it. World Happiness. How many people from around the world are going to be flying out here to go to Cascais for $600 to $1,600 for a weekend? I'm just saying, for that kind of money, there's so many more places you can go.
Yes.
And not be crowded by World Happiness Summit. You could have your own summit,
isn't it?
And happiness someplace else.
Yeah, and if you go to a happiness summit, the pressure is going to be on to be cheerful for a lot of that time. If someone gets grumpy and loses it at that summit, they're going to be quite an unpopular person. The security people are going to be primed, aren't they? If there's anyone looking unhappy, could you usher them to a space, to the safe space where they can't be seen by other delegates?
I'm just wondering, if you're not happy, do you get your money back? Or if somebody else is unhappy, do you get your money back?
I don't think so.
Probably not.
I don't think so.
I mean, do they guarantee happiness? How do they guarantee happiness? Is there a money back guarantee?
Well, it's research
based. Who's researching the happiness? Somebody else's happiness, maybe not somebody else's happiness. We could go on like this forever. I mean, it just
we've killed this event two-handedly here. Look, there is going to be happiness. The event organizers are going to be happy. Oh, stop it now. That's not fair.
Actually,
go on.
The people that are collecting the $600 to $1,600, they're going to be happy.
Absolutely. I think that's the point that Matty's making.
Right.
They're coining it in, and fair play to them. I mean, anything that promotes and prolongs or creates human happiness, I'm all for it, quite frankly. But personally, I can think of better ways.
Yes.
I suspect one or two of us.
I mean, I could save minimum €600, and I can sit on the back of my deck, my terrace, with a nice drink and watch the sunset for a whole lot less than 600, and I'm happy.
I'm costing that already. I think probably it's just a bottle of Beral, is it not, or a Portuguese bottle of wine? You're looking at, I don't know, you're going to be out of pocket by about €3.99, aren't you?
I think.
Plus wear and tear on your slippers.
Right.
Okay. I'm not going to be sending this clip to the organizer.
We'll round it up to a $5.99.
Yes, okay. So is that a trip, Barak? You're coming here to talk about TMZ, not TM. Is that a trip? Is that a trip, actually, an official trip to your back
No.
deck, as it were? No.
no,
That's a
no.
private VIP only invite. Okay.
Right. No, I was not invited either.
Right.
And now after this, I'm sure my invitation is just on. Shh. Yeah,
Yes.
they're papering someplace else with it.
Yes, and look, we're not finished yet. The event will have a happy ending. Well, I've not been to many company paid for jollies of that kind. I mean, fair play to any academics, excuse me, who've managed to persuade their upline manager or whatever they're called, their corporate boss. Look, you put me in charge of corporate happiness last year. There's this thing. It's a terrible job. I don't know why I took it on. However, I need to go to this conference in Portugal this year, where I'm going to learn a lot about how to make everyone in this company happy. Can I? And you'd start at the 1,600, wouldn't you? You'd say it's only going to cost. It's only going to cost 1,600 euros. Plus the flight and accommodation. And the boss is like, I don't know about that. It sounds a bit, our happiness budget is only 50 euros. So that's kind of broken. That's kind of ruined it. Okay, how about 600 euros? Well, okay then.
Okay, maybe. Yeah.
And that, I think it's going to be a lot of people, isn't it? Who the company or the academic organization will be paying for them to go, or it's going to be on business expenses. And as I understand it, some people do have the agenda that Matty's talking about there, where they're hoping for a little bit of romance, as kind of holiday romance, or it's different. I suppose if you're a researcher and you go around the world, you wouldn't call it a holiday romance. You'd call it, I don't know, research-related bonking or something like that, wouldn't you? I don't know much about that world, obviously. I'm just making it all up and wondering what goes on in that environment. If that's you, do let us know. Anyway, Barak, how are you?
I'm good.
You're in such a good mood. Gone are the days, I think, when we used to call this feature Barak's Beef, right? You always complaining about something in Portugal, right? You've chilled the hell out, man.
I have. It's, I was going to try and figure out a way to complain about not getting my driver's license, and I turned in all the paperwork online in November and had my meeting, I think about a week or two ago, and they said, here's your paper license, sit back, chill out, you'll have it in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. What happened to the days of it taking a year and a half?
Yes. Okay.
I don't know. So,
right.
Okay, I'll sit and wait.
You've changed, and I'm glad to see it. Quite frankly, you just, I don't know. Portugal's worked its magic on you, right?
It has. It absolutely
fantastic.
has. Now we'll see what happens with residency and IMA, but that's.
Well,
that's
I hear from Heather. All of that, when I talk to Gilda, when I talk to Heather, things are looking better. Things are going in the right direction. They're not perfect, as this video. I've got a minute of video to share with you now, which I've been scrolling away. This seems like the perfect opportunity to play it. And on the other side of this, I'm glad to hear you're more relaxed. It's great. It really is good to see how how Portugal has worked its magic on you. And we'll find out about what you've been doing with BMZ Travel and helping people go on tour. And we'll do a little bit of a poll to see where others might like to go among the Gumper community. And if it works out as in the best possible way, there could be a Portugal Club poll-based tour organized by BMZ.
Absolutely.
But on the matter of IMA, this is the worst case scenario here, which I thought was hilarious from social media.
O dia que chegou meu título de residência.
Finalmente fiz minha entrevista da AIMA. Agora é só esperar meu título de residência chegar. Disseram que com um mês chega. Bora ver se meu cartão chegou. Droga, ainda não chegou. Poxa, o diabo dessa AIMA não disse que essa moléstia ia chegar com um mês. Terceiro mês já. Febitife do rato. Chega uma hora que cansa.
Algumas décadas depois.
Seu Silvio, chegou uma carta da AIMA pro senhor. Bora ver o que é. Olha. Eita, é um título de residência. Eita, que bom, chegou. Seu Silvio tá vencido, vai ter que renovar. Seu Silvio.
Is that what I have to look forward to? So I die before I
Yes.
get my residency?
I'm sorry, I hope it's not as bad as that. No, that guy, he better wear a disguise when he goes for his renewal appointment, right? That's very brave and hilarious, I think. But you're going to be
Yes.
fine. You're going to be fine. But that was great.
Yes.
Because even if you don't get all the language there, you pretty much understand what's going on, don't you? I think.
Yeah. Well, that's just it. It's funny because IMA says you have to have your Social Security, your NIS.
Yeah.
And Social Security says, yeah, no, sorry, not happening. It's against the law.
Yeah.
And NIF and IMA says, well, yeah, but that's what we want. And Social Security says, yeah, we don't care. We're not giving it. So, and what's really funny is here in Oliveira Hospital, they're probably a kilometer apart from each other.
Oh, really?
And they still don't know what they're doing.
Could you not organize a networking dinner or lunch?
Oh, I did. Oh, absolutely. I absolutely. Are you kidding me? Of course. I even had wine. And if it got worse, I had vodka and gin and tequila. I had all this stuff
to bring finances and
bring them together, break bread.
Wow.
Absolutely did.
Yeah.
And they still sat there and they said, well, but I need this. Well, but it's against the law. But we need this. It's against the law. And I went back and forth, and I'd say that I'm drinking.
Yes, you have to drink
By
it all
the time
yourself.
it was done, they left, and I'm drunk.
You actually invited the respective.
Well, no, but
okay.
it was close enough.
But that's the next scene that guy
Yes.
could do, right? That we just saw there with his spoof video. Fantastic. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. I don't know if you tuned in yesterday, but we heard of one person who went to the extreme of starting a company to get a social security number, and then as soon as they got the social security number, shut the company. I think that's really high risk.
That's
because you might end up not being able to shut the company and having to pay hundreds of euros every month just to keep a company open here in Portugal. I think
right. Well, and to me that seems like a great way to have IMA say, "Oh, you fraud. You defrauded us. You lied." No. So I don't know that I really want to go to that extreme. There's got to be some other way.
It's like, no, I'm not doing that.
Right.
Wow.
I'll tap Gilda and see.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm sure she's got a way to do it, or I hope by the time mine comes up in May, they'll figure it out.
Yeah. Okay. I think Rui is highlighting the sometimes uneasy relationship between the Portuguese and the Brazilians here this morning. Not a good example. Was that the IMA guy or starting a company to get a social security number? I wonder. Some other comments and advice before we get going with catch up on BMZ, what you've been up to and helping people travel around. Just joined, taking a peek. No new memes yet. Still need to catch up. Okay, I think that his second or third coffee hasn't kicked in. Clearly, I'm old enough to remember missing a hole out of a stack of punch cards and waiting 2 weeks to find out that the program didn't run. That is old. That is old. And Carl, cynical, never. I don't like to think of myself as a cynical person, but perhaps I am. I think they need to read the parable of Lazarus and the rich man. It was Lazarus, the beggar, who won out in the end, not the nameless rich man. Demand free entry as Lazarus to the happiness. Yeah, I think that's going to work, isn't it? I am Lazarus, let me in at the World Happiness Summit. I think, like the unhappy people, we all be escorted to the back of the building. Bon dia from Gary. Hi, Gary. Good to see you. Happiness Summit, bunch of Qashqai posh nepo babies. What's that? Oh, nepotism.
Yeah, nepotism. Yep.
Probably. How about summit to discuss how not to be broke and do meaningful things? Okay, next year, let's do it.
We'll charge 800, 1800.
We will. We can make a fortune with that one. Thank you very much for that idea. We will send you a bottle of wine as a thank you.
Right.
In fact, we might invite you to the back porch, which sounds ominous. Your show title says TM. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I was hired as your marketing man. I've been fired again now, haven't I, for that?
I think so. You're just going to take your cut and pay. That's all right.
What pay? Make numbers work. Hey, look. It's Munwa. Make numbers work again. Quick, print the baseball caps. Happiness will follow. No far anything. Yeah, far left, right. Create incentives to keep the pendulum swinging. Have you just had your post delivered, Barak?
No, I think Michelle's going out with the dogs, or I have no idea.
They're getting excited.
She's out in the back with them. I have no idea.
Right, we want to keep the pendulum swinging in the middle ranges. That's a good conference. A bit too boring and unsuccessful probably for many political tastes there. Perhaps lacking the zest that the politicians require to keep the world turning. And maybe there. As a brain injury survivor, I am a member of Novament, which is based in Kashkash. Only done their excellent online activities plus national day out so far. Give us free tickets or have free pickets. Give us free tickets or have free pickets. Wow, that sounds very 70s or 80s, doesn't it? And you can only be truly happy if you have been sad at some time. That's an interesting thought. Their coach, perhaps not in Kashkash there. Spend a euro more on your $3.99 and you can have a reserver sat on the deck. There you go.
Wow.
Taking it to 5-star and
That's
gold standard there. Helen's with us now, late arriving today, but I don't want to travel anywhere because I'm so happy here in Tamar. Well, we'll see about that if we can tempt you out of Tamar. That's two of the topics that might change as I have to tackle IMA soon to renew. Yes, indeed. There is a published list of 12 places that you really can get your NIS posted in the Portugal Club. So there you go. We need to have. I didn't know that, or if I'd forgotten. Thank you very much, Sarah. I think you may have put that up there for us. I do appreciate that. Unlike Greece, where trade union membership of Veronas, the private language school trade union named after my relative. That's big cool, isn't it? Being able to chuck that into a conversation. My relative, Lord Byron, routinely overcame bureaucratic obstacles. No Portuguese equivalent here, not yet. Anyway, you could start it, Adrian. The history between Portugal and Brazil is very, very different compared with the history between UK and USA. I don't think we've got time to go into that right now. Completely different dynamics at play. Okay, very good. Thank you for that. So, how's it going being a travel agent? We've watched the whole project unfold here, haven't we?
Yeah, it's been a little slow go. It's interesting because I am kind of in a niche, if you will. Here I am trying to be a travel agent in Portugal, and 85% of the country or more speaks Portuguese, and my Portuguese is very little.
Okay.
So I'm trying to hit the population that at least understands what I'm saying and speaks English.
That would help.
Which is kind of a smaller portion, and then I live in a small town, which takes that small.
You know what? You're going to get some sympathy bookings, I think, the way this is going.
Well, then I wind up being just an itty bitty little tiny crumb floating in a big bowl of soup. So I'm just like, well, okay.
Okay. We get the picture.
I did have somebody reach out recently, and they said they wanted a flight for them and their daughter round trip to Paris, and their budget total was, I think, 400 euros.
Okay, so there's not much you could do with that, I'm guessing.
Right, and I was like, I'm sorry, that's kind of unrealistic.
You'll have to book your own flights.
Yeah. Okay. So, but no, I've got a couple that here, I'll share this. Let's see if I can do this. It's been a while.
Oh, cool. Okay. Well, I'm opening up a poll over at the Portugal Club.
Fabulous.
For this very purpose. And I'm determined to get Helen out of Tamar, for one thing. So I'm putting Coimbra as the first. I mean, that gently does it, right? Let's put Coimbra for Helen. Lure her out of Tamar. Okay. What have you got here then? Let's have a look. Okay, where are we off to?
Madrid. It's short, it's quick, it's close. Got a couple that they've decided that they're going to drive, so it's only about a 5-hour drive.
Okay.
they're staying at the Inala Hotel, which is really it's a really cool hotel. It's got it's very green. So they've got a 1,000-meter squared garden wall with waterfall inside the hotel.
Mm.
And so they've been entered in the Guinness Book of World Records for it. It is pole dancing, yeah.
These people, honestly, Matty and Pete, they're not taking this seriously. Opening
It's
up a pole, not for pole dancing, no, or like an Eastern European autopsy, opening up a pole. No, I'm
no,
creating a poll to see where we might go with the help of BMZ Travel. They're not helping here this morning, are they?
that's okay. You
Yeah.
got to. Those are the unhappy people that were trying to go into the Cascais
Yes,
for
yes,
free,
that's right. Yeah, yeah. There's no hope for those people.
right?
Okay.
So it's really a cool hotel. So they're going to stay there. They get there on like March 13th. On the 14th, they're doing a 3 different wineries of Spanish wine, and they're tasting 3 wines in each. So by the time lunch is done, they're going to be hammered because they'll have like 9 wines in them.
Hammered.
It'll be great.
Okay. All right, it'll be great. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be great. They'll have some tapas with it. And then later on that evening, they're going to do a 3.5-hour entertainment at Tabalo de Villa, which is flamingo dancing and dinner. That's on the 14th. On the 15th, they do a tour of the Royal Palace, the Museo de Prada. They'll do the Neptune fountain. That'll take about 5 hours or so. When they're done, they'll go back to the hotel and shower, change, and they're off to go do an evening of paella and sangria. So they'll go and make their own paella and sangria, and as in typical Spanish and or Portuguese,
Oh, so they're
eat and
going to a
drink.
restaurant where they're being taught how to cook, and
Yeah,
they'll
it's a
eat.
workshop.
Oh,
It's a
very good.
workshop. So they'll go in and taught how to make paella, whether you want chicken or seafood, and make sangria, and then you'll sit around and have a great time. And then they come back to
Very
Portugal.
good. Very, very good. And you're organising that for them, are you?
Yeah, I did.
That's one of your
Uh,
trips. Brilliant.
it winds up being about 980 euros a person for the hotel, the tours, um, the guides, all in English speaking. So, which is not too bad.
Okay. All right. Very good. I like the idea of that. Other suggestions are coming in. Any idea of the cost of such a trip to Madrid?
It was 980 a person.
Okay. Very good. Very good. And you'll just take care of all of that.
Yep.
And you'll just tell them where to be, give them an itinerary. And it's quite, it's the old-fashioned way, isn't it, of doing a holiday?
It is. It is. It's if you don't want to the hassle of going down to I go down to Lisbon or up to Porto from where I am. I don't know
Yeah.
where everybody else is, but and then parking the car, flying out, the hassle of going through security and immigration and passport and everything else. If you want someplace that's close, quick, simple, and easy, Salamanca's 2 hours, Madrid's 5 hours. It's a little easy drive, and it's a great little weekend. If you want to spend longer, there's plenty to see. There's plenty to
Yes.
see in Madrid.
Very good. Very good. Okay.
So,
And that's
yeah.
that's a nice, handy, easy trip from Portugal, of course, going over to neighboring Spain there. Great. Okay. Thank you for that.
Absolutely.
And people can get in touch with you if they want that particular one. I'm
Yes.
building the poll over here as we speak. Opinion poll by Matty and Pete. And so far we've got Coimbra then for Helen to get her out of Tamar. I don't think you're going to make a lot of money on that one. You've got
That's
Madrid.
okay.
You've got Madrid as you were detailing there, which sounds lovely. I'm planning a trip to Bologna. What would you recommend over in Bologna? Have you done that for anybody? Have you researched that one?
I started to, and then the people backed out. So, but I
Oh.
can, and I can let you know. There's a lot in Bologna.
Yeah,
In
okay.
fact,
And would you
Michelle and I were looking at going there.
Oh, cool. Would you suggest just going there or turning that into a little bit of a bigger tour in Italy?
There's quite a bit in the Bologna and surrounding area. So depends on how long you want to spend. If you're wanting to spend, just 4 or 5 days, and you could probably do Bologna. If you're wanting to spend, 7, 8 days, then I would suggest you could split it up and spend 3 in Bologna and maybe 3 or 4 in Verona, because
Oh, okay.
Verona's right there.
Okay, excellent, excellent. Okay, that's a good idea. I'm updating this as we speak here. It's now it's camper van Coimbra because
Yes.
Helen is a camper van kind of girl. In Portugal, there are the most extraordinary camper van friendly sites. In Alcobaça, for example, you can camp, or you can be in your camper van on a campsite in the center of town, in the most beautiful little. I don't know how well it fared in the storms, but it's a lovely pine forested in the middle of town, just walkable to the monastery. And I think there are other similar camping sites all over Portugal. It's very friendly for camper van life. So that's one option there. You're probably going to have to organise that yourself. BMZ,
Yeah.
can't do that one for it. Madrid, you definitely do. Bologna, you can do.
Yes.
Helen's at
Yes.
the Nine Wines Alternative Happiness Summit, and for an extra €1, you can have Reserva.
Right.
€9 total. So you're spending about what? 4 bottles for 36.
36, 38, 40,
That's
yeah.
a cheap summit. That is a cheap summit. We're
It's
going
a
to
very cheap.
add some value to that
That's
one.
right.
Paris has also just come up. Now, I was talking to my daughter, my youngest daughter, about Paris.
Paris is fabulous. I did Paris I did a trip to Paris. Was it 2 years ago? Yeah, it was a quick in and out, and we had tickets to Moulin Rouge. We did a night tour of Arc de Triomphe and the Eiffel Tower. Did a cruise down the Seine River. It was a nice little trip.
Sounds
And
lovely.
yeah,
So
it was
you would
really nice.
recommend it. Rui, not
Yes.
so much. Paris, tell them to stay in Portugal. In France, everybody's at each other's throats, street fights between far lefties and far right. If you think that's Portugal, serious problems, try France now. Was that your experience of Paris? People
No,
fighting?
we had
Okay.
none of that.
That's-
We
I'm so
didn't see
glad
any
to
of that. It was great.
Right.
So no, we didn't have any of that.
Okay, so that's been added though. Paris, but not if you're Rui. I'm going to
Yeah.
post that. I'm going to post that and put the link in the chat, and feel free to add extras in the comments if you're watching the show a little bit later on. And don't forget to get in touch with Barak. Not so beefy these days. He's
That's
happy
right.
to organize trips for you out of Portugal. And do you know, I think it is bad luck to talk about going out of Portugal, because the last time we tried to do this, I couldn't get online, could I? The storm had happened overnight, and the idea of talking about leaving Portugal crashed the country into severe winds and flooding and landslides. So we have to be a little bit careful about that. A few more comments.
See, right now we've already been under the warning for the Sahara Sands, so we're talking about this after the Sahara Sands have already started coming. So it's okay.
Good. Have you got any? Did you wash your car? Is that what did it?
I did, and I'm looking outside and I'm noticing it's not blue. It's kind of a
Bit
strange
mustardy.
color. Yeah.
Sky mustard. Okay. Right. The Nine Wines Alternative Happiness Summit, I do have to say, is probably the most attractive that many people would have heard this morning. Very good. That's going to be messy, and you're going to need a holiday after that as well.
I think
recovery.
so.
Maybe rehab. Paella isn't chicken unless you are a culinary crime like Jamie Oliver. Pete being very particular this morning.
And they do seafood. You can have seafood.
Of course. Madrid is an odd
Some
place.
people don't eat seafood. So
correct. You don't want to have your face bloating up, do you, whilst you're
Exactly.
away on a nice holiday where you're hoping for a little bit of romance? You turn around to ask for a kiss from your partner, and your face is bloated up like a
a pufferfish.
Thank you. Madrid is an odd place. 8 months freezing and then 4 months of scorching hell. I think we should keep him out of travel copywriting, don't you?
I think so. Yeah.
Thank you. You're not helping this morning. And Matty as well. There is no spaghetti bolognese in Bologna. Often the way, isn't there? I don't think you should probably ask for Domino's pizza or Viennetta either. things that appear to be Italian but aren't. You can get a good ragu, of course, in Bologna.
Yes.
And a tomato sauce and a meat sauce that I think the rest of the world picked up and ran with to create spaghetti bolognese, like the tikka masala. You know, these things get, I think, beautifully changed as they make their way around the world. But that is a good point, and you're absolutely correct there. Don't forget northern Spain. A bit too late to add for me to add, but northern Spain, you can help people get to northern Spain as well, right?
I can.
All right.
I can.
Okay. All right. And make Portugal a flyover state again. Forward everybody to Spain. Let's keep it for ourselves and further east and north into the rest of Europe. You don't mind being paid to do that, do you?
I don't mind at
out
all.
of Portugal? No.
I don't mind at all. If somebody wants to go to Germany, Italy, if they want to go to Austria, Switzerland, I'm happy to help them go.
Wonderful. Okay, mate. Well, it's great fun. It's been great fun talking to you as ever. Good luck with the driving license and the social security thing. And I'm so glad to see you're more relaxed about it. Best way for people to get in touch with you to book these?
You can reach me on WhatsApp at 9666-954-99. You can reach me on Facebook, BMZ Travel, and I'm happy to help you go wherever in the world you want to go.
That WhatsApp number one more time, if you don't mind.
966-695-499.
Right, I think I've got that right. 966-695-499, the number for Barak and BMZ Travel. I don't know what idiot put TMZ Travel, but there's the number, 966-695-499, or find him on Facebook. Barak, thank you very much. Everybody else, thank you very much for being here. Lots of fun this morning. We'll have more fun tomorrow morning. Take care. Bye for now. Ciao, ciao. Cheers, Barak.
In Portugal, there's a YouTube show full of fun facts you need